I am so sorry. The audio in the beginning of this video got messed up, but thankfully it was fixed by the time we got to the part that I think you all would think is the most interesting, which is walking us through exactly how image candy is made. In this case specifically, text. So just to catch you all up, I flew all the way to the Netherlands to shoot a video with Rocks and Rolls, and they were kind enough to show me not only how to make their image candy, but they also made a special candy just for Hercules. So in the beginning of the video, we had a video call with my mom to go over what flavors she could choose from for the special candy, and she landed on blackcurrant because we don't have that available near us. Then they did the usual starting of the batch with the pouring of the hot candy, adding the flavoring and coloring on the table, and now this is where the audio is good for the rest of the video, so just hope you enjoy.
Mark is still there when I make my fourth mark. The temperature is about right. So this one is gone well before I come to my fourth mark, so it's still too hot. It's still too liquid, so it's still too hot. And we should wait till the surface has cooled down quite a bit before we add the citric acid. So yeah, now and then we'll check the temperature again. As you can tell, it's still too hot, and if we add the citric acid too soon, it will burn. Will leave.
Does it have like a burn taste?
Slightly bitter taste to it, and it will leave your candy or your sugar slightly yellowish as well. It will give it a tone. We're gonna make this part white, so that won't be a real big problem. But if you want some clear candy, you actually want to avoid that. So this looks like a fair amount, but keep in mind that it's quite a big batch of sugar.
So what are the two different powders?
So the first one that we added was citric acid in powder, and it's a very extremely sour powder, but this amount on that pile of sugar will give it some slight tartness. And the other one is actually a coloring that we add in powder form as well.
Oh, so it's like white food coloring?
Yeah, it's white food coloring. We used to use another form of food coloring that was liquid, that was easier to mix in, but that one, we cannot use that one anymore.
It's banned in the EU.
Due to an EU ban. And now we're using a non-water soluble alternative.
It can still be used in medications and
Yeah.
pills and stuff. In toothpaste?
Toothpaste.
Yeah.
There's
Not in candy.
There's some uncertainties about the reaction to a human body. They won't say it's actually a health hazard, but since there's some unclarities, they rather ban it than keep it in use.
Now we let it drip.
It's more of a way to check if the color saturation is right, and especially with these deep colored colors, we want to check if there's no crystallization that is set in. We could tell by the presence of lumps.
That's about right. And then the rest will be added to the white colored part, and that'll be stretched on the machine later on.
So this will about double in volume, I think, and that's our main filling of the candy, and that will be the letters. So you can see that the side that touches the table is actually solidifying right away, and the top part is still very, very liquid, extremely hot as well. We started off at about 155 degrees Celsius, and I think the top is still at 120, 130. But by bending it and stretching it onto itself. We are looking for an evenly distributed temperature throughout the candy. And we gotta make sure that the color is distributed all the way.
What happened?
I stuck my hands in too soon, and then this happens.
And now you're in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I need a cooler side to get this back off. So almost.
I'll just put this on the other table.
Yeah.
That's one reason why we wear gloves. If you're stuck to hot molten sugar, you can always take off your gloves, which is never the case with your bare skin. It will come off.
With the candy.
Yes, once, only once. So we're gonna bring it to the cooler table. And then I wanna cool it down further.
So you guys have this table that's not heated or cooled,
Yes,
right?
so this is just solid stone. I'm not sure how it's called in English, but this is
Yeah, that's what you'd say.
yeah, it's just a sort of stone that's found very often in this area. It's mostly used for countertops in kitchens, and it's actually great because it's very smooth and very thick, so it keeps it warm or cold very long.
And then you guys, this is the cooling table and then the heating table?
So the cooling table is the one over here, which is more than 100 years old and actually served us already more than 11 years now. And it's a solid steel table. It's equipped to be cooled with water. And then on the other side we have our black table. That one is heated table. So that's about 90 degrees in the
90 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, and the center.
So that'll be about
Like 180?
probably a bit more.
190?
Yeah, 180, somewhere between 180 and 200.
Yeah, in the middle, and then it's cooler until warm to the touch on the side, so we can play around with warm.
Like, so if you
zones.
need it like really hot, you can go to the middle. If you need to cool it down a little bit, you can go
It's
to the
like you
sides.
can see it as a chef that is using his black stove, where you can, when you have a hot center, and then you move your pots around to a cooler side. It's the same that we do with this table. And you'll see when we're making letters and pieces that we actually switch quite regularly between the hot zone, the colder ones, and then the cool table. So we're trying to get at the end, when we make a roll, we want to have all pieces like the same consistency and the same hardness or softness, depending on what we want to do, but all at the same time. So that's very hard. So out of this piece, we're gonna make the outside blue stripes, but also the letters. So I'm gonna cut a piece that Kim is about to use for his letters in the spiral. I'm gonna prepare that.
So what this thing does is actually pretty much the same as pulling the sugar on the hook, just like you guys do. We still do it too, but for like the bigger batches we kind of use the machine just to save up on some energy and muscle power. Yep, that's it. There you go. Into the cooling table. Pull it down just a bit more.
Meanwhile, I'm prepping a piece of blue that Kim will be using to make the letters out of.
So you guys do letter ones like relatively often?
Yeah, I'd say on average we do 2 a day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes. We do make a lot of candy for to as a handout when a baby is born, so for baptisms or for baby showers, and as well for weddings. So we make a lot of names that are joined by little hearts or with a date in it.
So out of this piece, I'll be making the full name, Hercules.
Oh okay.
Yep. Like we always do, we start off with double or triple letters. And in this case, we have a double E in the name. So that'll be the first one. After doing the first double letter, I'll just stretch this piece out a little bit more. No, it is okay. You can speak.
Yeah, so usually what you guys do with your content is you do kind of like ASMR style stuff, right?
Yeah, it just grew like that.
Yeah.
I guess. And most important, it's because we're not native English speaking, and it sometimes feels a bit unnatural talking English or American or whatever. British. Instead of talking Dutch, but hey, maybe this is our new revelation, and maybe we'll go on and do some speaking and explaining.
I'm glad it's not in Spanish.
Because just being here for a little bit, I've learned a lot already. Especially with like how you guys are forming everything together, like how you structure everything.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have it down to science.
Thanks.
Double E.
So that'll be the double E.
Okay.
Yep. And after the E, we'll just start from the top and continue with the H, HRCULS.
And save some space.
Yeah, so for anyone watching at home who has seen our channel before, we usually use like a very similar method. We just have like a coffee cup filled with water and a brush. But you guys have a sponge and water. But you're just applying water because it just kind of makes it
stickier. Nothing more.
So here we go. This is our letter E. Yeah.
I can see it already.
Yeah. So we always have to. Obviously, when you have written letters, there are spaces not filled up with color, and that's what we always have to do by making the letters. We always have to go to a square shape or rectangular shape. Not for O's. O might be the only exception.
Yeah. So basically, we have to take in account that we have to fill up every negative space in between letters or in between a word or an image or whatever. So every time you see nothing that's a letter, we need to fill it up with something else. So in this case, we use white, and that will support the pieces that Kim is making for the letters. And in the end, we are working for to get it into a round log, big piece of sugar. To achieve that, we are making squares and then we round off and such.
Yes. Yep. H, 1H coming up. There you go.
UL nog. Oh nee, ik had die nog niet zeggen.
That's the H. Next up, R. R might be the hardest letter. It has the most parts. And as you can see, we just working through the letter and filling up the negative spaces with white sugar.
Just reminds me of like mozzarella and stuff like that.
It's a bit sweeter. So that's an R.
Oh wow,
fill up,
that
yeah.
really looks like an R. Wow.
Yeah. Just need to fill up the gaps like this.
So it doesn't collapse on itself?
Yeah.
You just gotta build some structure.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
One thing I've noticed is like when my parents and the workers have tried to do image candy, since we don't have someone teaching us, we're just watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we don't know how to build like the structure around it, so it can kind of just flop as we're pulling it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I see that you guys purposely make like triangles and squares.
Yeah. You have to just with the triangles and the parts that go in between, you have a shape that you can like modify or keep in control. If you have like, if we just make the R without the pieces to fill in the gaps, that letter would just collapse. U-L-S. Yep.
U-L-E-S?
We have the...
Oh, you already have all
the-
of these?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Alright. Just want to make sure we don't run out of letters.
Try to make every every letter that's in there twice. We try to make them first of all, because we need to adjust the width of the piece where we pull out the letters. And I actually am making the spaces that go between each letter. So we cannot stick letters just one to the other. So we need some spaces, just like a regular space in your text would be. And that's what I am pulling here right now. So we have how many letters? Just have to, we have 7 letters, so I need 8 letters. Sorry, so I need 7 spaces.
Probably won't have enough of the blue. That's no issue. Just make a U. Please then later on. Can I have a U? Does anyone have a U? Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you.
I'll put this one here.
L. Here you go.
You go.
Huh?
You go. Victor.
You go, we go, we all go.
Ice cream, you scream. It's better.
Actually, I think I might have enough to make L and S out of that piece. So letters are headed over to the cooling table, so they be able to keep their shape. If we'd like make the letters and immediately left them on this table, they would collapse as well due to the heat.
Ah ja.
L.
Ja, en wat jonger. Ah, en verstillen. Oké.
Yes.
Dus,
L.
Then a little piece to make the spiral out of it. Is that a zip, I think, for us? So we always need the amount of letters -1 in terms of spaces, because we don't add a space at the very beginning or at the very end. And if there's some particular letters in there, you might need some spaces less.
It's like for eyes, letter I, we already add 2 spaces next to them. For the S, we'll use some more triangles, triangle-shaped spaces to keep like the curviness of the S. And after making this letter, I'll start off with sticking all the letters together.
On the cooling table?
No, will be done on the heated table. And this is the S. So that's already it for the letters.
Now it's just the swirl.
Yeah, well, first I'm gonna compile all the letters just to get every small piece out of the way. And you'll see later on it's much easier flipping like one big word instead of all the letters and the spaces.
Yeah, now we have to keep control of 7 spaces, 8 letters, 2 big spaces. So yeah, we'll try to stick together as much as possible.
It's like this.
So we have to turn them regularly so they keep their shape. Kan je hierop onderschrijven? Ja, oké, schrijf dan op zien.
Get out. Kun je me niet meer uitzetten?
Oh, momentje.
Ik kan niet weer. Kun je niet meer. Wat is dat nog?
H, E. It's probably hard to tell on camera because the letters are literally cut off on the sides.
So it's letter spacing, letter spacing, letter spacing.
Yeah. H, E, R.
So you try to use the
pakken er altijd weer. Die mogen weer beter zitten dan die boek.
Herc. Hercules.
Was there double spacing for that one?
Which one?
I just saw like two pieces of white.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
because
the
of the L.
L. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying like some do need a little bit more spacing because of like the shape.
No, actually less.
Yeah.
So like an
The
eye
eye.
has already 2 parts of white adjacent to the letter, and that serves as a
Its own space.
space. Yeah. There's some more. The J sometimes, you know. We do some.
No, but when we're making names or words ending Ly, so L-Y, then we won't put a space in between them, because they all the Y is made that way that the L and the like bottom piece of the Y connect without using an extra space. S. I'll cut that one off.
Okay. Just to be sure.
So you cut off so you can see the S?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, look at that.
It's the first part. It's just you'll see in the end result doesn't represent the way it will.
Otherwise, you
in the
can
end.
stick it in reversed or in a mirrored image.
So here we go.
You can sort of see the Hercules, but I'm sure, it'll, like you said, it'll come out better like when it's pulled.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Just gonna cool that entire part.
And the cooling table or the heating table came in yesterday?
Yesterday the new heater table came in.
Oh, so that's not the one that you guys are currently using?
No, it's installed at the moment, but it's not in use yet.
Oh, this is it?
That's the new
That's
one.
the-
Yeah, that's the new heated table.
So will that take the place of this, or are you just gonna have another table?
No, because the space next to the heated table will make like another cold table, but for small batches. Yeah.
So then you can like make a batch and then overlap.
Yeah,
Like an
exactly.
additional
Yeah.
candy line, but in
'Cause,
yeah,
for-
You guys have been running into problems of like keeping up with demand, right?
Yes, keeping up and keeping all inside because
Yeah.
we're limited to this space. And
Yeah.
yeah, we try to maximize the space by instead of using a regular table, by using a water table and be able to work on that.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trying to keep up with your customers.
Trying to
Yeah.
keep up.
Problem to handle.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
It's better that way than the other way around. So
Than like trying to find
So
customers.
for once and for all, we want to address to our American fans out there. It's
we're
not that
trying
we don't-
so hard.
It's not that we don't want to ship to the United States, but we're not able to. We
But
have a hard time
if
finding
you
every European.
if you stop by Hercules Candy, you can. Sorry, excuse me. If you stop by Hercules Candy, you might be able to test some of these.
Mhm.
These will be flying over to the States. All right. So that was it
Look at
for the
that.
name. Next part, we'll be making the C, like the spiral C, Hercules Candies. And I'll try to make it as good as possible and representative as possible. Very hard to... This is actually the first time we need to recreate a spiral, and I'm actually not sure if
If you've ever done it before?
we made spirals, all the
spirals, yeah, but
now we have to think about it.
yeah, and we just make a spiral, but it's hard to get like the exact measurements and dimensions to,
And it's the exact opposite. So what we are trying to do is what the let's say the light brown part is what we are making in blue.
it's just a bit thick.
Ja. Wel, nee,
En dan loopt het dunner af.
ja, maar wij maken het lichtbruin toch, hè?
Ja,
En dat is, ja,
ja, en dat begint ook heel dun.
ja, dat is inderdaad ook heel dun.
En dat is bijna volledig. It's almost a complete circle that's thinner. And then there's
Yeah.
a wider part and it tapers again.
She's good.
Yep.
She knows her spirals.
It looks like she's looking to us.
I know, doesn't it?
At us. She's like
Are you guys doing it right? How's the spiral coming
from
out?
a top.
Oh, I already see the spiral forming. Wow, look at that.
It's not enough.
Well, it's
Not enough
white,
the blue or the
Not
white?
enough spiral.
You need another rectangle to attach to it.
Yeah. We're one twist short.
I think my mom will still accept it.
Let's hope so.
what are the odds that somebody will see this
Otherwise
video?
you just have to come back.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is actually a quite good one because earlier on this day we made like a very harder design, and that came out very good,
Yeah.
very nice, and yeah. This one is just all about measurements and yeah. Alcohol.
So is this to cool it down faster
Yes,
or make
and
it more?
it will keep its shape and it's not as pliable. And it'll be the center of the candy, so we can form the rest of the candy around it, so it'll stabilize the candy.
Okay. So you guys have done this before, huh?
Yeah, and also if you leave it like this, it'll within a few seconds not be round anymore.
Right, yeah.
It's going to cool the letters a little bit more. The harder the letters are, better they will come out in the end result.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like finding the good balance between having them just hard enough and soft enough to be able to stretch the entire batch.
Do it.
How often do you guys make a batch and
the shit
say
down
something's like too hot or too cold, like to the point where you're just like, we can't use this?
And then
We'll probably always find a way to work around temperature-wise issues. So for example, when pieces would get too cold, we could, like loose pieces like these, the pieces we're not using at the moment, when these get too cold, we can use a microwave in just like 5 to 10 seconds and microwave them. When they would be too hot, we just use the cold table. And for pieces that are, like for example, if the name would be too hard to stretch, we could use like a blowtorch.
Oh wow!
To soften everything up, or play around with the room temperature a bit, make it a bit hotter in here.
Yeah, our box roller is heated, but it's not warming the candy roll. It's actually just keeping it warm. You cannot make it warmer in there. Just on this table you could, and it's only the surface. Especially when you have a big roll going on.
Maar ik ga hem dan nog eventjes terug in. Tenminste deze nog de rond.
Ja.
Ga hem hier opplakken.
Dan misschien nog iets meer.
Just going to wrap the blue parts.
Plastic.
No, it's okay. And now cool it just a little bit more. I'll hand that back over to you. Flip this one over. So that one's ready as soon as the spiral is done.
It's all just in time delivery.
Yeah.
So you just keep flipping that so it doesn't sag on itself.
Yeah, exactly. And we like use the outer parts of the table because those aren't that warm as the middle.
Hello.
I think we're ready to put everything together.
How many times the outside? How many?
2004.
That was not determined.
There you go. There you go. I might suggest making like 6 blues and 6 whites, unless you have another idea.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So we'll cut this piece in 3. Stick the 3 individual pieces together, cut it in 2, and then we'll have 6 stripes of each. 1, 2, and 3.
There's more.
I'm just gonna stab it a little bit.
So what does the stabbing do?
There's due to the heat, there's air bubbles that form, little air pockets, and I'm puncturing them so that when we stretch it out, we don't have that long strips of porous candy because that will just shatter if you break it.
So you like run into problems when you're cutting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kim, is the width all right?
Looking good. Yes. All right, final step. Thank you. Yes. Now let's see. It still looks very dark at this point.
It looks like black, but it's...
You'll see the blue right away.
That's one of the hardest parts, is that you cannot really tell the colors until you start stretching. So
You just gotta trust the process.
you have to anticipate on how much it will fade during the pull to make sure you have the right color, but already at the very beginning. So it's the very hard part is at the very beginning, and that's See the color shift right now.
And that says Hercules. It has a spiral. It's not great yet, but it's normal.
It gets better like as it goes. Yeah.
But the first part is really pinched and stretched out, so it's quite deformed. So actually the first sticks try to move away.
It's definitely. Do you guys know the
Yeah, I think so.
The exact spiral, but it says Hercules and it has spiral.
Yeah. So how do you make sure that it's like very consistent as far as like the width? The way you're pulling it out.
Experience. Yeah.
So like
It's,
what are you thinking, like if you're to teach someone, like what would you tell them to do with their hands?
difficult to say. Definitely not. Don't pull it, but like slide and glide through it. Definitely not pull it, because if you pull it, you'd break the rods.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yep.
Take out first quartz. Good. We're halfway through now.
How long does it take to pull, just to pull the batch?
I'd say 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of the batch. This one's medium. Yeah, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes. This is what's left. So yeah, probably more than halfway right now. Just gonna close it to keep the heat in the machine.
And is that heated?
Yeah. Here we go. That's it. Hercules.
Can I see it?
Yeah, at this point the sugar's still warm, but as soon as it cools down, the letters and the white pop a lot more. And you can actually see the difference. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell on camera.
Just a second. Tilted. Oh yeah.
White becomes a lot whiter when it cools down.
Yeah.
These are good choppers. Not every batch chops as easily as this one.
So would you guys be able to explain like how you're chopping? Like if you're to like teach a new person?
Most important thing is holding the rods of candy like in a 90-degree angle towards your chopper. Then you can choose however you rotate. My favorite position would be like just tilt it up a little bit and then go into a 90-degree angle.
So as long as it's 90 degrees, it's preference if you want to do it
Yeah.
perpendicular or like kind of an angle.
Yeah, the chopper candy angle should be 90 degrees. Yeah, if that's a thing. The angle with the bar you're chopping on is not really. It's just how you feel comfortable with, or what you feel comfortable. But we do tend to keep it the same during the phase of chopping. Otherwise, you have to adjust and support for that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's hard to find the right. There's no. Every batch of candy is different and acts different. Sometimes the rods are harder to chop. They are sometimes a little thicker or thinner, more brittle. So that's why we always start off with one to chop and just feel the water. Yeah, we can get an idea of how the batch will chop. This one actually chops very nice, but we don't like to say that out loud because that's like jinxing it.
Then I've just jinxed it.
Okay. Yeah, so this one goes fairly well. And that's the whole frustrating part of making candy. It can go wrong in so many ways, on so many levels, at every stage. And down to the very, very last part of chopping the candies, where you have candies splitting up or breaking on you. So yeah, it can go wrong. If it's too humid, we end up with a whole bunch of sticky candy, which is not good.
Oh no, it looks like half of these are printed backwards.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah.
And you guys said just because the
Yeah,
candy
so-
is all the way through.
Yeah, the image or the letters go all the way through the candy, like you can see with the stripes. But of course, in the very end, you end up with a mirrored image.
Oh no, backwards.
So, yeah.
All right, you ready for the taste test?
I'm ready. You're not going to make me taste the bubble wrap, are you?
No.
Thank you for that.
Just the candy inside.
Thank you for that.
They wrapped it all nicely.
Oh my god, so
Oh, it says Hercules. That's adorable.
do you know what flavor it is? Or which piece of guess?
Actually, I would love to have you guess.
Okay.
They let me pick, so I know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually don't think you are gonna guess it because it's not like a flavor that we have. I'll give you that hint, I guess.
Tell me when.
Hey, actually, I want to see what it looks like. Yeah.
Wow. See,
I think this one's backwards.
they're professionals at this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, so if you flip it to the other side, then it'll be.
That it's got our name and our logo.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
cute.
Someone made that for us.
Yeah, that's Rocks and Rolls. Remember I went to the Netherlands?
Remember
I
when
remember
Craig,
that, but I didn't realize you.
Remember when Craig
Wow.
wasn't around for a while?
I do, yeah.
Do you want to try one, Kara?
Sure. Is it pepper?
I know this flavor.
Pepper
What is
flavored?
it?
I can't think of what it is. I know it. I've tasted this before.
You tasted it?
It's so like, look at the color. That might help.
No
They
idea.
let me pick it.
It's gonna make me mad. Hang on.
Gray and white?
More like navy blue.
It's probably that color because of when you add was it malic acid. The purple doesn't
So they weren't trying to make it purple.
Okay.
They were actually trying to make it like black to like so navy blue that it's almost black.
Right. That's right.
And that's what's
I
done.
remember we
Figure out
talked
what
about that.
fruit.
Yeah, that's basically the color of the fruit.
Navy.
Black something basically.
It's one that.
Guess I don't know my fruit.
Is it currant a fruit?
Yes.
Oh,
You got it.
see, I've never had
Black
currant.
currant. Julia, that's
Wow.
amazing.
I knew I'd tasted it before.
that looks much
delicious.
All
for
right, I will take one as well, even though I've had
black
it.
currant though? I don't.
It's like a berry.
Wow, this
Oh.
is good.
Yeah, so this
I like
is.
it.
Really
Hold on, I gotta make sure that it's not focusing on you guys' face. So that's it when it's backwards, but they flip it around, and it's frontwards.
Did you look at it or?
It's our logo.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing?
And Hercules.
Look
How do
at
they
Very
do that?
talented at both flavoring.
If
and
you watch the video, you'll see exactly how it was made.
Are they posting a video? Oh, you're posting.
Yeah. So this is gonna go at the end of this video. So everyone who's seen this, who's gotten to this part of the video, has already seen how it's made.
So that
I
means we
can't
can
wait to
co-
see it.
wait,
Yeah.
We should try to do it ourselves. You should watch the video of them doing it and then try to recreate it.
Oh yeah, because remember how easy it was to do the pumpkin?
Let me spell a word with like 8 letters.
Hercules
and
with
this
the
really
fur.
logo. It'd probably be very
I'd give it
simple.
a good try.
I think you
We should try it with cookies first.
Hopefully, after you watch the video, you can figure it out a little bit.
Seriously, I think
Yeah.
you should practice on cookie dough first because it's very forgiving. Temperature
Mm-hmm.
wise.
Yeah.
You slice it, make some cookies,
Mhm.
and then move on
That's
to hard
talent
candy.
right there.
So they said that they're going to be sending us like half the batch, so then we could sell it, and then they were going to keep like half the batch, and then they could sell it.
Sells
I
out faster.
yeah. And I don't think we've gotten a box from them, but I sent them a message asking if they're going to be sending it or like what happened. So maybe by the time this is posted, I can.
It's really nice of them.
Yeah.
I feel like since they're going to give us free candy,
Mhm.
I feel like we should donate it. Donate the proceeds to
Mhm.
them. Because I was just thinking, because I like to keep in my mind, who I like to support. Around here, there's a place called My Father's Kitchen.
Mhm.
It's for helping homeless people
Mhm.
get homed. So that might be a good thing to do.
Okay.
I'm sure his name's John Tomino. He won't mind. Maybe you can even put a link in the description.
He
thing.
won't mind.
If you want to
think so
donate to
either.
My Father's Kitchen, like I said, he won't mind.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, so once we get that, then maybe we could do like a short or something, letting people know that we got it, or that they can even just buy it at the Rocks and Rolls website or something like that.
If they're closer
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have a bunch of people in Europe who can't buy our candy, but they could buy candy from Rocks and Rolls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
So they were great. I love them. So definitely go
The
support
few
them.
minutes I spent on the FaceTime with them over here.
Oh darn.
Carrie, why would you do that?
Sorry, so sorry.
Coming out of your paycheck.
Carrots, not mine. Carrots.
It's such neat handwriting.
Yeah, it is
Oh, yeah,
really
you gotta love
beautiful.
that, Kara. Kara's handwriting
She's
is art.
meticulous.
All right, good work, everyone.
Break.